just settle right back into the saddle. So really pleased with where he is right now.
What's the message to the O-line and the D-line on those snaps when Carson's in there?
You know, I think we got to be very mindful of where he is, and I think our defense is. I know Coach Schwartz has addressed it with those guys. So, you know, everybody knows we want to get everybody the first game. Obviously, we're out here to improve and get better and to work on our craft, but we also want to try to keep everybody healthy, and we've got a veteran team who knows how to practice, so I think we'll be able to accomplish that.
What does it mean that Carson was able to do so much on day training camp?
Well, obviously, we want everybody out here practicing together and getting the continuity that we need to be as consistent and efficient as we want to be on offense. So to have everybody out there, to have Carson there, you know, in some people's minds ahead of schedule, but I know that was his target date. So we're excited to have him out there and working, and you know, it's only going to make everybody better.
Looks really spry. People are like, you know, falling around him and stuff. Do you get a little worried when you see that?
You know, that's part of the game. Obviously, we get worried anytime anybody hits the ground or takes a hit. You know, we had Mike Wallace get hit yesterday and go to the ground. So, you know, anytime those kinds of things happen, there's cause for concern, but that is part of the game.
Mike, how difficult is it? You talked about continuity. When you have to get two quarterbacks sort of ready for week one, as a first-time offensive coordinator, how difficult is that for you?
Well, fortunately for us, you know, we're not a new operation, and these guys have worked, you know, with most of the skill group over the course of the last couple of years. So I think they can fall, like we see Carson just stepping right back in after, you know, missing a bunch of time. He's able to keep that continuity with those guys and still remain sharp.
On a given day, what dictates whether it's Carson or Nick with the ones?
A coach will make that determination.
You notice any difference in his mechanics? And I know he said he put a lot of work in to make sure with the injury they didn't falter at all. Do you notice any difference?
I think the ball's getting out really clean. He's got a lot of velocity on the football. I mean, arm strength is really, really good right now.
Mike, how's Goddard's knowledge of the offense when you're putting him out there? From a mental standpoint, how's he handling it?
Dallas is really smart. He's mature. Really doesn't say boo. He speaks when spoken to. He's in there taking notes, and you saw him show up and make some plays down the field today, which was encouraging.
When Jai got here last year and kind of had to assimilate into a team that was winning, how did he do that? What did you learn about him during that stretch?
We're really happy to have Jai here. He's really important what we want to get done. He walked right in here humble, looking for a way to fit in, just want to contribute, and obviously he was a big part of our success.
How important is it to have Darren back?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
How important is it to have Darren back with the offense and being a big part of it?
It's fun to see 43 out there with the ball in his hands. I know that, and you know, people on defense got to be conscious of where he is. He's a weapon for us, and somebody that we haven't seen in the huddle in a long time. So every time he gets the ball in his hands, I know I get excited.
Beyond Zach and Dallas, who else from that tight end group has impressed you most thus far?
I'm really impressed with the entire group, to be honest with you. Top to bottom, everybody looks like they've improved, put a lot of time in over the course of the summer. They all came in great shape. They're limiting their mental errors. Their assignment's sound right now, making plays when the ball comes to them. They're all big targets. All of them can run. And, you know, it's up to us to try to find a role for them.
How do you think they've done as blocker?
Full control of the offense this year. First time it has. Get you a little more AMC in them and a little speed here.
You said antsy?
No. Does it get you a little more AMC and these guys in full pass taking over a high power?
Oh, yeah, we're playing football today, you know, so it's nice to get out there. Now you can really get a real evaluation on particularly run game, pass protection, things that, you know, we're talking about real football. And so it was good to get out here. I know the guys got to get used to carrying their pads again. It was warm. And, you know, day 3, always the legs get a little bit heavy, but, you know, it's part of training camp.
What have you seen from Josh Adams now when you get to participate in those?
He's been in very, very little, so probably not enough to comment right now.
Came out for a few snaps, and is he okay?
I didn't even notice it, so I can't comment on that. I have no information on that.
The guy who came in was Matt Pryor,
yeah.
And I know that you cross-trained him a little bit during OTA's minicamp,
sure.
And he got some snaps today with the ones. How's he look so far?
Well, I think Stout's been really impressed and pleased with where he is with his progress. Think he can cross-train both inside and out at tackle. And love his size, obviously. He's got good foot quickness, and another guy that just brings his lunch pail to work every day. He's quiet. He's smart. He's picking it up. He can articulate the offense when asked questions. So really pleased with where he is after 3 days.
The players were talking about how Stout's recall is really impressive. He can remember stuff from 8, 10, 12 years ago. How often does that come up in meetings? How helpful is that to what you guys are trying to do?
Well, I tell you what, we're awful lucky to have Jeff Stoutland as our offensive line coach. Not only because he has tremendous recall, but because he's a great person. He's a tremendous teacher. He really has a wonderful culture in that room with those guys. And it all really starts and is centered around our offensive line. particularly for us on offense. So we couldn't be any luckier to have Jeff Stoutland here.
What's the next step in Nelson's game?
Oh, wow. We all try to get a little bit better each and every day, and I think that Nelson had a tremendous year. So just looking to become a little bit more consistent with everything that we're doing, and really raising each and every skill that we defined last year and refined, trying to develop that and get a little bit better. You put it in kind of golf terms, hitting it a little bit further down the fairway, a little bit straighter, a little bit closer to the pin. But we're talking really fine things here. Nothing that probably the average fan would notice. But Nelson is one of our most diligent workers. One of the first people in the building. He knows exactly what he wants to get done each and every day. Asks the right questions. Is locked in. Can run all day. Loves ball. Is in tremendous shape, and just a great teammate.
It seems you're still playing it mostly in the slot. Is that the plan going forward, or would you like to see him move around in the formation?
Well, I think we'll move him around, particularly as you get into game plan. And Zach, it just right now we're installing, we're throwing everything in right now, and then we start boiling it down as we get closer to playing games, and we're trying to figure out what everybody does really well. So as you start moving guys around a ton, it disrupts the rhythm a little bit for them. But once we get the offense in, we'll be able to do some more from a game plan standpoint.
Sorry, Mike. Back in the spring, Doug kind of singled out Greg Ward as a young player who really made big strides. How's he been in that transition? Obviously, former college quarterback, seemed to flash today in some plays.
Yeah. Greg has come in, and just like a lot of quarterbacks, he's got that quarterback mentality. He's used to being in the building early, staying late. Watches a bunch of tape on his own. He kind of is shadowing Nelson a lot with a lot of things he's doing, and doing a tremendous job of that. And as he's made that transition, you can see him get more and more comfortable, not thinking as much about playing the position of wide receiver, just reacting off what the defense is doing. He has excellent short area quickness, really soft hands, reliable hands. He can lock the ball up in traffic and transition quickly to a runner. So we're excited about Greg and his potential.
I know you don't want to put a timetable on Carson.
That's a great question.
That's a really good question. I'd just refer to Doug Pederson on that.
What else does Carson have to do? I mean, he's out there in pads. You guys don't really tackle the quarterback. There's nothing as far as
Practice goes that he can't do right now.
Right. He's been in everything. You're exactly right. Yep.
What kind of camp has Nick had so far?
I like where Nick's at. He's in the right frame of mind, stepping in that first huddle on a lot of these periods, and he's making some good throws. As you can see, we're pretty good on defense, and those guys are making it challenging for us on offense, particularly early first day in pads. You can see they can generate a pretty good pass rush. They're back there in a hurry, so that's only going to make us better.
His role is uncertain, different than what a typical backup quarterback would be. How do you see him handling that behind the scenes?
I think if you would ask any quarterback in the NFL, they see themselves as a starter. And I think Nick's preparing that way.
With Alshon out, Mac has been getting first-team reps. Is there any advantage for him getting first-team reps as opposed to being with the second team, confidence-wise? So Mac's been getting first-team reps, and with Alshon out, is there any advantage to him for him getting first-team reps as opposed to being with the second team if Alshon were here?
So many questions have been about Nick and Carson, and we're rotating those guys. So regardless of what huddle you're in, either the first or second, you're getting reps with our top two quarterbacks right now. So I think from that standpoint, there's a comfortability with Mac and them. But anytime you walk in there and you step in the first huddle, I think, you got to be on your stuff. And Mac has done that here from day one, even as a rookie. So he's going about his business the right way. And he's one of the players that has position flexibility for us, has great toughness, again, loves football. You don't have to ask him to do anything. He's going to do it on his own. And he's just got, he's got to keep getting better like all rookies or second-year players.
It seems the snaps, particularly from Isaac, have been errant at times. Are your observations of that, and is that a concern at this point?
Well, Isaac missed some time in the spring. I think he's just kind of working back into things a little bit. And our observation has been it's occurred mainly on the runs. where he's working to get upfield quickly on the second level. So we pointed out to Isaac, and he's made a lot of good snaps too, but we got to eliminate the bad ones.
Do you think center is an ideal position for him? Long term, is like that where you want him to be in there?
We love his position flexibility. So we like the fact that he can play center and guard for us, and even bump out to tackle, and he'll play big tight end for us too. So an old saying in the NFL is the more you can do, the more valuable you are. So he's got a lot of value right now.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you, guys.